Marvel Strike Force is at another low point in its lifespan. Massive amounts of low quality screen time and minimal amounts of farmability for new characters, but what can be done to improve this game? And it's not all bad though, because there is a massive amount of hype for this Gamma team. It is real. We're discussing the best ISO for this team and a lot more, and an update most likely dropping next week. Will it bring a glimmer of hope to the community and change the direction of this game? I'm discussing all of that and more with my brother Mr. Hartgrave in this edition of your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. And if you're ready for it, Mr. Hartgrave, tell him what to do, my brother.
Let's go, smash it!
ValleyFlyin.
Hello, Valley Maniacs. Welcome back to the channel. I am ValleyFlyin. This is your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. Now, if this is your first time here, we do this news update in Marvel Strike Force every single week, despite the game being good or bad. We talk about everything and we give a fair, honest assessment. Now, I think this week is a little bit more negative than usual, but hopefully we have some solutions that hopefully Scopely can implement to turn this game around. Now, if you have not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button for more great content. We have at least 5 videos per week on this channel. And if you've already subscribed, welcome back. And if you're listening to the podcast version of this, make sure you give it a great review on whatever platform you're listening to. But this week, I am joined by my brother, Mr. Hartgrave, all the way from the dark side. How are you, Mr. Hartgrave?
Feeling negative, Ali.
Feeling negative?
I got to. That's what you told me we're going to be negative, so let's go.
Yeah, this is going to be a salty video. Now, I tried not to be too much salt. There is some infusion of some positives that I tried to get into this news, but this seems like there's been a lot of negatives going on right now, Mr. Hartgrave. Do you feel the same way?
No, I've been told that I've entirely sold out since I became an envoy, and I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess I'll be the negative one. You could be the voice of positivity. And I guess I'm asking you right now, how awesome is Blitz right now? Because I am blitzing like crazy. How many rotations are you doing for this Power of Attorney event?
I find it actually super mild. I'm done already for these 2 days.
Wow, okay.
Yeah,
now,
I mean, I did like 5 rotations. And that was
5 rotations. And did you refresh any of these defenders or Gamma team characters? Where do you have them as far as gear? Gear 13, 15, or even more than that?
Yeah, so we have 4 defenders. I have 3 of them at gear tier 13 because I didn't go for Heroes for Hire, but I do have Daredevil at tier 15 because I'm an idiot. And then I have 2 Gamma characters at tier 15 because I'm free to play, and I don't have Brawn or Abomination unlocked yet.
Oh, do you think you're going to get Abomination unlocked with this orbs in this monthly milestone event for Abomination? Because if you do manage to get all the worst possible drops, you're not going to get them. So how lucky do you feel, Mr. Hartgrave?
I don't really feel lucky at all, but I know that the average is 150 shards after you pull everything, and I know I'm going to get everything. Right now I'm sitting at 25 shards. So I just don't know. I think it's a matter of when I'll unlock him, if it takes me until the end of the month or if I kind of do it mid-month.
Or next year or whatever. I mean, the farmability is not something that is very prevalent in Marvel Strike Force. But
I mean, that's the big fear is like if you don't unlock him now, when will you unlock him? Because he's not going to be farmable for 6 months, 8 months.
2025. 6 months. You're being very generous, Mr. Hartgrave. I mean, the Eternals, it's been over a year since the Eternals were introduced to the game. Nothing. Cull took over a year to be farmable. Nothing right now. Moondragon took a while. Over a year as well. So hopefully Abomination is not the character of this. Now, with this public defender milestone, you're doing all these blitzing. What these war battles? This has been a source of some controversy here, but I know you did the calculations for these, and you said even with 2 wars, most people are gonna get at least 2. Some are gonna get 3 full wars for this. But even with 2 full wars, you've done the calculations, and is it possible to get all of these milestones with 2 wars?
Yeah, just about. You do if you have a tier 15 A force, yes, no problem.
What if you don't? What if you don't?
You need a tier 13 A force. And I know a lot of the community, I have a video on my channel about this today, but I know a lot of the community is like, I can't possibly tier 13 A-Force. And if that's you, then you're not gonna be able to max out milestones unless you're able to engage with the game the way the developers want you to engage with the game. Like,
wait, can I engage with it how I want? I mean, I used to be able to do that. I gotta engage with it how they say. Build these characters like they say. Building these Scourge teams, these Horseman teams, and not having a lot of choice. I like Dark Dimension, by the way. I had a lot of choice in those characters. I could go in with good characters, or I could go in cheap characters. But now I gotta build up Phantom X and Scarlet Witch and all that for this next kind of iteration of Dark Dimension for Apocalypse,
Marvel
right?
Strike Force is not a game of free will.
It is not anymore. All right. All right, there's the power of turning milestones here. These are these milestones right here. You've done the calculations. How far can free-to-play players get? I know we can't get all of these milestones, but what can we expect? I mean, I'd like these extra silver flash bits all the way down here. We're getting it twice though, milestone 32 and a milestone 35. How far should I be expecting to get on this with these milestones, Mr. Hartgrave?
All right. If you max out Fighting Force, that's the one with the war attacks, and if you max out Public Defender, the most briefcases you can get 60,000 points.
60,000.
60, and to max out the milestone, you need 90,000 points. If you just want to get the monthly points for the monthly milestone for Abomination, you only need to get 40,000 points.
That is, what is this? What is this one? Oh, the Irradiated Blood, got it. So this is the big one that we gotta get. I think this milestone 31 is pretty good as well, that 5 red stars She-Hulk. But milestone 32 is the costume, the attorney costume. But that is probably as far as we could expect to get as a free-to-play player. Milestone 33, 34, 35, out of reach unless you're spending, how much money did you calculate that would be, Mr. Hartgrave?
It's at least $100, if not
$100.
a little bit more, because you can buy 25,000 for $100 right now.
Okay.
So you'd have to spend a little more than $100, and if you look at that, that is in no way worth $100.
Armory 17 orbs. We're getting 5 of those trashy orbs. That is not worth it to you?
No, God no.
240 T4 materials. That is almost as much as most players are missing from these war rewards that they said would be fixed before the season ends. That's not worth $100 to you either, Mr. Hartgrave?
No, but you can fix the problem there by buying the offer. So for $100, you can fix your war rewards.
Oh, okay. Well, that solves it then. All right. So no, fix the war rewards. You don't have to do a war attacks. All good. Now, you said this is not as grindy as some of the previous Blitz events. One that comes to mind being horrible was that Hulkbuster event. And for me, that's been a turning point of this game. But all the way back in 2020, they made a commitment to reduce low quality screen time. Let me read what they said. Another thing the team is looking into is reducing the amount of time players spend in existing modes like Blitz. I feel since the Hulkbuster event, we've had event after event after event where we have the Blitz. Now, maybe not as much as the Hulkbuster event, but there's a lot of blitzing. I feel this is low quality screen time. Is Blitz low quality screen time for you, or do you enjoy clicking those buttons and not really using as many strategies as you would in other game modes?
Yeah, it's 1,000% low quality screen time. I think, I lost my lid when they did Hulkbuster. I said a lot of stuff to the community managers about it, and
did they listen? Did they listen?
This is less.
Okay.
This is less, but it's not what we saw a few months before Hulkbuster. We really did reduce the low quality screen time.
Yeah.
Blitz events, they were completable. Like 3 rotations. This one now, and now they're requiring that you have a lot of characters kind of built. I don't know. People that have spent money on the game, right, and have tier 15 everything, they should not have to blitz. And that's what we're looking at here. If I had the full Gamma team at tier 15 and I had all the defenders at tier 15, you could probably beat this, and you just use charges with cores even. Yeah. You could beat this in one sitting, no problem. And that's really who the game is like geared around, are the people who are spending like the hundreds of dollars a month, thousands of dollars a month. So I'm glad they're taking care of those people because they literally fund the game. As far as the rest of us, I guess I'm happy it's not Hulkbuster.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Hopefully they reduce the amount of blitzing that we have to do in these events. This one doesn't seem as bad now that you mentioned that Hulkbuster, because Hulkbuster was a massive turning point for me. I was having a lot of fun in Marvel Strike Force. Then that Hulkbuster event came around. Other things started happening, like the time change that made it so confusing. Some of the events are starting at the new time. Some of the events are starting at the old time. There's a 3-hour gap between a lot of them. It's massive confusion. It seems like they don't test a lot of things before they're implemented. And as far as the what a lot of players are feeling, especially with this Hulk Hunter event and having these Gamma Goliath orbs, the only way to get Abomination as a free-to-play player is upsetting some people. How are you dealing with some of the burnout from this game, some of the grind of this game right now? Because I know a lot of people are getting frustrated with the amount of time that they have to spend just to get these milestones and these monthly milestone events. And even if you max out all the milestones in this Hulk Hunter event, like I said previously, you're not guaranteed to unlock Hulkbuster. So how are you dealing with the burnout right now, Mr. Hartgrave?
Yeah, I guess the way I had to think about this, but the way I'm combating burnout is I try to win. And I redefine what winning is until it gets to until I can achieve it. Not what maybe the game thinks that winning is. But I set something in my head. I'll do math, about the events, and I'll go, okay, this is winning. Getting 60,000 points for this milestone, that's winning. Maxing out my war attacks for a couple of wars and making sure that I get all the briefcases from that by the third war. That's going to be winning for me. And that's what keeps me checked in. I'm in a high performing alliance. So that helps combat the burnout in that, we're always kind of pushing the end game content. Mm-hmm. I don't recommend that for everybody. I think for a lot of people, what I do would burn them out. But this is what I do to remain engaged. Because I think the other option is to just not care about all this stuff and let this game become very casual and just unlock what you unlock, build what you want to build, and not worry about if you get Apocalypse or not, or whatever the new shiny thing is.
Yeah, I mean, that for me, that wouldn't be as fun. I know for some players, it'd be even more fun that way. I enjoy the chase. And I think that's a different perspective, and I think in myself and a lot of players are looking at it. Just getting to this 60,000 would be a win. Do you think that some of these extra milestones, not just selling it as an offer, that $100 offer, selling it separate, do you think that's leading to some of this frustration that people are facing? Like, oh, I got to complete all these milestones. My goodness, how much time is this? Instead of just having it end at 60,000 and putting all this stuff in an offer.
Yeah, I mean, they have teams of people that work on this stuff and determine like how many rewards they want to give people for free, and then how many, how much they want to sell. And I would love to see this return to where, free to play, you could beat every milestone in the game. However, if we think back, that was never actually the case. There were always milestones that were unavailable to people with unless you paid for them. They just looked different. They were less frequent. And this, what we're seeing right here, unfortunately works. It must work or else they wouldn't keep doing it. So it costs like $100 to beat this. I don't know how many players are going to do that, but there are players out there that will just slap down the $100 just to clear this. And this tactic works on them, and that's why we're going to keep seeing this happen, and I don't think it's going away. So the only thing we got to do is get it in our head that just because the milestone 33, 34, and 35 exist, doesn't mean I need to go for that. It's not even worth it. I mean, even if I had that stuff, what would it do for me?
It would get you a freaking cool costume, Mr. Hartgrave. Come on now.
You already get the costume for the first 50,000.
Well, you would get credits that would be converted at a 60% conversion rate, and you would be able to purchase one of the other costumes in the store, Mr. Hartgrave. That is what that $100 would get for you.
I've already squozed all the previous events, and I'm sitting on 170,000 costume credits.
Oh, you got to go buy that Phoenix costume. You got to go buy that Cyclops costume. Just buy all of them, Who cares? Who cares if they're going to break the game and give you that T-pose? All right, but This you mentioned this people spending and buying these offers. I think that is true. I think that's an interesting way to look at it. As long as people keep spending money, keep buying these offers, keep falling for the FOMO tactics, we're gonna get more and more and more of them. And while some players are all right with this, because obviously this is keep coming back and back and back, the majority of the community is not happy with this and is frustrated by these events. But I guess if we look at it in a different perspective, maybe it's not as frustrating and can help to deal with some burnout.
I think what I tell people who are frustrated by stuff like this is that it's not going to change. It's not going to improve. And you can keep being frustrated by it. You know, you're welcome to do whatever you want to do. If that's the sort of thing that frustrates you and stresses you out, then this game might not be for you long term, because I don't think it's going away. I can't give people hope.
No, I mean, as long as people keep buying those offers, which people continue to do, which is why they keep having these events run like this, I don't think it will change. So just, I think the different perspective is very, very key. Now,
that was nice and negative, but like in a positive way, you see?
Yeah, I mean, I guess your positivity is infecting me, Mr. Hartgrave. All right,
it's a very negative statement. I mean, it's not going to improve. It's going to keep being bad.
Well, I got a negative thing for you, Mr. Hartgrave. Yesterday was the first Wednesday of September. Now, way back on February 1st, 2020, they made this commitment. One of the big questions surrounding how we release characters to be farmable due to campaign nodes, stores, orbs. This is trashy. Orbs does not count as farmable, but it does to them. Moving forward, our goal is to make 2 previously unfarmable characters farmable per each month. That, we had like a 6-month gap between 2021 and 2022 that we had one farmable character. They may be rare months where we far short of this goal, but at minimum, if you had one previously unfarmable character, we farmable the first Wednesday of the month. Now, some months since this, they've added characters to orbs, but not a premium orb. We're talking like an arena orb or a blitz orb, which in my mind is still not farmable, but it's better than what they did yesterday, just adding Valkyrie to the premium, mega, basic orbs in the store. Very, very trashy. So do you think they're gonna rectify this? I mean, we did see a data mine for Echo. Do you think that was the intent? And maybe they went away for Labor Day because everybody takes a holiday every chance they get at Scopely. Do you think that was the intent to make Echo farmable yesterday and they forgot about that? What do you think happened here with this? Or is Valkyrie, do they consider Valkyrie going to premium orb as farmable?
Yeah, so I've dug into, what they're doing down there quite a bit since I've become an envoy to try to figure out what prevents things from happening. You know, what prevents bugs from getting fixed, what prevents characters from becoming farmable. And what I've kind of gathered is that every single move they make down there, they have to have like 18 meetings. They have to have everybody sign off on it. So yeah, it could be the full intention to release Echo. It could be the full intention to release a Milestone 3 orb. But if you have even like one person decide like, nah, I don't want to do this right now for this reason or that reason, then the whole thing has to get like reworked, rescheduled, readjourned. The meetings have to start up over again and everything gets pushed back. I'm pretty upset that we're not getting a farmable character first Wednesday of the month. This is like the first time in like years where that hasn't happened, so that's really annoying. But I will say that right now I'm farming 3 characters on nodes, and that hasn't happened in years either.
Well, some of that is from that backlog that they created for themselves, that 6-month period where we didn't get any farmable characters. There was probably months that I had no characters to farm on nodes. So having 3 now is kind of making up for what we didn't get in the past. So I guess that is a negative thing. Now let me read one thing that someone in chat wrote this morning when I was streaming. At the current, and I haven't verified these numbers and everything like that, but it seems correct. At the current release pace and farmability pace are going, every year until the game dies, we'll have an additional 36 unfarmable characters every year. At that rate, we'll get to a point where if the game lasts for another year and a half or so, every character we use on a daily basis will be unfarmable. And I haven't done these numbers to see if that is true, but if that is true, how does that make you feel?
Well, not good, but I don't know if it's entirely accurate or what's going on with that. We definitely still have farmability problems, and they definitely have a backlog. And missing this Wednesday isn't good because now we're getting backlogged again.
Even more, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I'm farming 3 characters from nodes, and then I'm getting Scarlet Spider from the War Store, which is going to take ages because the War Store is so crowded with characters, and there's only 3 spots open for those characters to show up every 3 times a day. I think I buy like 5 Scarlet Spider shards like every 2 days. Is that your experience as well?
Something like that. Yeah, something like that.
That's some kind of farmable, isn't it?
That's better than only in premium orbs or mega orbs or ultimate orbs. If they put Echo in that War Store, wouldn't be the best thing, but at least you have access to them a couple times a week or something. All right, so
I would like to see a lessening of the internal red tape with Boundless when it comes to this stuff. Like, I think they've put too many barriers in place before they can do things. And I think like one of the indications of that is like, where is some of this stuff that we see? Like, where is the Echo? Where is the Milestone 3 orb? Where are some of these data mines? Where is that stuff getting hung up at? Why isn't it getting out to the players?
Why haven't the Greek orbs been updated in years? We've had trash in that character, in those orbs for a while now. All it goes is to ultimates. Why don't they just update those orbs? That would be an easy solution. Even if we're not doing those raids, on a consistent basis, every 3rd rotation or so, we'll get those orbs back, and then we'll get some characters farmable. That seems like it'd be an easy solution, and it would still make these characters rare. So it'd be kind of a win for both parties, in my opinion. But I don't know. I think that would be an easy solution. Also, have one person in charge. You're talking about all this miscommunication to these teams. If there's one person in charge saying, no, this is how it's going to go. Yes, this is how it's going to go. That would, I think, ease up some of that red tape. But I think that's enough for the negativity. Let's move into some positives, because I've heard very good things about this Gamma team. Very, very dominant in many game modes, even as a 4-piece without Red Hulk. I've heard they beat Heroes for Hire just as this 4-piece in War. And I faced a Gamma team that wasn't very big, except is a medium-sized Hulk. Very hard to get through, especially with the taunts flipping back between Hulk and She-Hulk. This team is very, very good as it is right now. And I know you haven't unlocked everybody because you're free to play, which is a very good decision. But what have you heard about this team as far as what they can do?
Yeah, I think my most experience I've had with them is I did fight one in a war, and it was unpleasant. And I threw everything at it. So I took a team with like Morgan Le Fay and Rogue and Eternals, and it was still, I beat it, but barely.
Hulk is annoying, man. I couldn't get through the enemy Hulk. They had a very weak Abomination, a very weak Brawn, and I couldn't get through that Hulk to even get to Abomination and Brawn. So yeah, they're very strong. Interesting that you faced them on defense, though. How strong? What teams have you seen try to take these guys on war defense, if they're placed on war defense?
Yeah, we didn't gather too much data on it. We ended up fighting like one of the bigger top 10 alliances, and they like everyone there had Gamma on defense.
Ooh.
That was just like the move, because it's so nasty. And
they are nasty.
It's just going to brick wall people, which is the idea. I think a lot of people were having to hit it twice, which is the whole point of the whole thing. Just because it's so resilient. It doesn't die.
Yeah, and especially with that Hulk mechanic going below and above 50%, gaining health, it's very tough to get through. Now, the next thing I want to move on to is Iso-8 selection. Now, don't take the recommendations of what I have in these characters. I haven't switched anything up yet, but I've had some interesting conversations on chat. One of the best comments was from Jarhead82, and I didn't want to give him credit because I want to read his entire chat post here. With the introduction of Gamma Team, the Iso-8 role of She-Hulk doesn't change much. With her passive ability will be executed with increased focus, therefore she doesn't need Skirmisher. As someone who have additional passive attacks, it's definitely best to give her the Striker class. As you see, I have Healer on her. He's recommending Striker. However, you must be careful that there are at least one Raider and one Skirmisher in the rest of the Gamma Team. Choosing an Iso-8 class for Brawn is very simple. You have two options. The first option is give him the Healer class, like the majority of other support characters, and use him only as healer support, regardless of his utilities. However, If you want that brawn that always steals all buffs from enemies and spread it to Gamma members with his special, then you must give him the Skirmisher Iso-8 class. In my opinion, for Alliance War, he will definitely need Skirmisher to be prioritized. What do you feel about those recommendations? I saw you shaking your head at a couple of them. What are you theory crafting for those characters right now?
Yeah, I think the main one that perplexes me is like, you must have one skirmisher and one raider. Like, where does this come from? I feel like one person says this, then another person repeats it.
I think the reasoning is because the vulnerables, Mr. Hartgrave. If you got all strikers, nobody's going to be vulnerable on the enemy's team. So you need something to apply those vulnerables.
Right,
is where I think that's coming from.
We can start with She-Hulk then. Make her a skirmisher. I don't know. I don't know why you not make her a skirmisher. Yeah, maybe she has enough focus to apply stun today, but tomorrow she probably will not. And when I put on Isotope 8 for a team like this, especially considering we're going to Isotope level 5 on this team.
Yeah.
We're going all the way. So just thinking about what they need for war is ridiculous. Because this is the team I need to use in Cosmic Crucible. This is a team I need to use in Scourge. This is a team I need to use in Raids. I got to use this everywhere. So when I think about Isotope 8 on this team, I want to think about the most portable solution. Because at the end of the day, this team with Red Hulk is going to beat everything. Even if you make them all Fortifier, it won't matter. It just, in war, it won't matter. In all the other game modes, it'll matter a lot. But in war, they're so geared up for war. It's like you could put the dumbest Isotope 8 on this team, and it doesn't matter at all.
All right, but Cosmic Crucible, I'd run into a brick wall in this team. And Hulk, the person actually had Fortifier in Hulk, which kind of makes sense. Yep. If you can't even get through that barrier, you're not dropping him below that 50% and having that. It may work. And of course, with all these ISO 8 recommendations, if you look on paper, the best ISO 8 class for Morgan Le Fay is Striker, right? But I think most people have Skirmisher on her because that focus is needed. So I think these are good starting points for all these ISO 8 recommendations, but actually, testing it in gameplay and having some gameplay test what works, what doesn't will be the ultimate choice. Now, last, this is from Prince of Peace about Abominations. He's recommending Raider because it's special. He puts defense down on his basic and special, so he doesn't need Striker, but Hulk does because he taunts and retaliates often. What do you feel about the ISO 8 class for Abomination? Right now, I got Skirmisher on him, but I may be switching that to Raider.
I would say Skirmisher once again. Whenever you have a character that drops a stun, the moment that stun doesn't apply, that character's value plummets. Like we saw it with Zemo. I mean, I keep going back to Zemo because I think that was the first lesson we all had to learn. Everybody had Zemo as Raider, and then at a certain point, that ability block just wouldn't land. And as soon as then he became useless. He's almost an entirely useless character if he can't land that ability block.
Yeah, that's the only reason you're putting him on the team, right?
Yeah, and that's what you're going to have with She-Hulk, and that's what you're going to have with Abomination. If they're not Skirmisher now, like, fine, you do whatever you want now. But later on down the road, they're all going to be Skirmisher.
All right. So maybe everybody needs to be Skirmisher because everybody's going to have all their other characters as Skirmisher and they have that high resistance. So you need a high focus to even land anything. So that's what the recommendations are for chat. I think I'm going to try that out just for experimentation, but they may not be the final. So recommendations from chat: Healer for Hulk, Striker for She-Hulk, and we may be experimenting back with that Raider. Skirmisher for Brawn, I think that's a good one, and Raider for Abomination, but Skirmisher might be for all of these characters.
Yeah, I went with Striker for Hulk. I don't understand Healer for Hulk. I guess I've seen a lot of people do it. I guess if your Hulk stays alive, you win. If this team doesn't win in a war attack in the first 2 rounds, you failed. You haven't
How
built
do they handle?
team.
Have you seen a mirror match? Have you seen anybody attempting mirror matches against this team in either War or Crucible?
No, I haven't seen that. But yeah, I mean, I guess if your goal is the mirror match and then you want to outlast. But look, I haven't had that ever be successful. I've never relied upon that in this game for 4 years, relying upon, making it till the last 5 minutes of a match.
Yeah.
Most successful matches are won in about 30 seconds. If it's 5-on-5. Not talking about, raids and other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not 1-1, but you know the direction the battle's going at that point.
5-on-5 battles in this game, by design, are won or lost within 30 seconds, 1 minute at the most. So if you're not doing that, then you're doing something wrong.
Most, not all, but the Darkhold match can go sideways. You don't know what's happening in the Darkhold match, and sometimes Infinity Watch matches are like that too, but most I would agree with you. Now, you're very hyped. We talked beforehand. You got a lot of hype for this Tangled web team, probably a little bit more than I do right now. What's hyping you about this team? Is it the characters? Is it what they do? Is it because they're Crucible? What is giving you that hype for this team?
Yeah, I guess I like the characters. I like Spider Noir. I'm a guy that's into that. Mostly
that's surprising. That's very surprising.
Yeah, right. I don't know why. Yeah, I like Cosmic Crucible. I like winning Cosmic Crucible. So, and I kind of like that they're just telling me that Spider Weaver is going to be must-have. I got to take Spider Weaver up to tier 17. So great. Here's a character I can build. I can put my resources into. I'm not going to feel like an idiot if I do it.
Whether you want to or not, Mr. Hartgrave, you need to build Spider Weaver, right? As soon as she comes out in the game.
There it is. It's better than being told I got to do that for Scarlet Witch.
All right, so obviously for Spider Weaver, we're gonna need to build her up. If you want to unlock Apocalypse, if you're skipping Apocalypse, you could hold off in this team for a while and farm them when they can become farmable in a couple years or so.
Here's another reason why I'm excited about it though, because even if you want to skip Apocalypse, if you look at rewards and frequency of game modes. I would still say that Arena is the most important game mode. Directly under that is Cosmic Crucible. I think if you want to win...
So it's surpassed the raids for you?
Absolutely. If you look at what's available in the Cosmic Crucible store as opposed to what you pull out of raid rewards right now, the Cosmic Crucible store is winning hands down, and it's about to get reworked and get even more rewarding. So I think Cosmic Crucible is going to be a staple of this game. I don't think it's going to go away like RTA did. I think we're going to really need to be good at Cosmic Crucible if you want to, win at Marvel Strike Force. You don't have to care about that at all, of course. Okay. Now, if Cosmic Crucible important, I think that is correct. I don't know if it surpassed the raids for me, but it may be doing that soon with these new rewards that are supposed to be coming in this next update. If you were skipping one of these characters, Spider Noir or Spider-Man 2099, based on what you've seen on his kit, which would you say is the most skippable? Or are both of these characters skippable if you're only interested in Apocalypse and not interested in Cosmic Crucible? Yeah, I don't think you're going to want to skip them. I mean, if you're not interested in Cosmic Crucible at all, and it's just I just want to get Apocalypse and I don't care about anything else in the world, then yeah. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. If you want to get Apocalypse, you need all your characters at Blue Isotope level 5, and Cosmic Crucible gives out a lot of Blue Isotope, level 4 currency right now. And probably when level 5 comes out, it's going to start dropping that as well. So I don't think you can skip this team if you care about Apocalypse.
Okay.
You don't. I would say for Noir and 2099, building them to tier 15 should be fine. Especially if you've gone all the way on Spider Weaver, she's going to carry.
Are you planning to take them all the way to level 90, or are you stopping at 80 or 85 with these characters?
For Cosmic Crucible teams, I go to level 90. Like my Wakanda's level 90.
Where are you finding all these golden training mats as a free-to-play player, Mr. Hartgrave? I spend money sometimes, and I'm always out of something, either gold or training mats. I'm starting to run low on training mats now, and I'm trying to balance that with these milestones. Where are you finding all this currency to build up your characters? Because my characters are not built up.
It's a very narrow roster that I run, and yeah, it's basically only my Cosmic Crucible stuff goes to level 90, and then I still have Emma sitting at level 80, which is probably very rare for my level in the game. There's no need to take her past level 80 in my opinion, so she doesn't go.
Well, there's a little bit. If you get pinged by Icarus, if she's a little higher level, she won't die instantly, and maybe not getting that second Icarus attack. Maybe that would be the only justification, I think. All right, so we know that Spider Weaver is gonna be the character, one of the characters in Apocalypse. Spider-Weed would play a key role in unlocking Apocalypse. Officially now, she is a required character, first required character, more to be announced later to complete the saga. Now, I want to get your predictions. Obviously, we don't know for sure, unless you know something that I don't. But who are you predicting is also going to be required for Apocalypse? Some people are thinking Kestrel, Deathpool. Are you thinking someone new that they could sell and make money off of, or going back to some of these older characters that they've designed?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of speculation before this happened, and I wasn't participating in it because I don't find that has much point. Right now, knowing what we know, I'm going to assume that every character is going to be a new character because money.
Yeah. So
that's it. I'm not gonna, I don't like to give people hope. There's no reason to have hope. Just assume every character that's going to be required is going to be a new character.
All right. Money characters got to spend. Yeah. So we have a preview of Mr. Negative, or rumor Mr. Negative as the last character here in this silhouette. Is he going to be another character? Because you're probably going to have to purchase him if you want him. Is he going to be another character for the Apocalypse saga?
Yeah, almost certainly. I have no idea what he's supposed to do anyways. Like, what team does he go on? What purpose will he serve?
There's a rumor of an underworld team with reworks to Nobu and Green Goblin and Kingpin. Who knows if that is anything happening, though. But I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens with all that.
What would they be used for? Cosmic Crucible defense? Like, what are we getting into now? What are we talking about?
I don't know. Maybe they're a crazy war defense team. I don't know. They may be a trap team like the Ravagers. I feel they have a lot of Ravager vibes, is what I'm feeling. So maybe a minor war offense team, not taking out the metas, but taking out some older meta teams is what I'm suspecting with that.
We haven't seen one of those stinkers in a while. It could be one of those really.
Could be. It could be. Well, A-Force was a stinker until they got like 3 or 4 reworks, and then now they're finally working how they're supposed to. So maybe they'll end up like A-Force. All right, you mentioned this earlier. Cosmic Crucible. We got some changes coming in this next season. And we have new league subdivisions that's coming. So instead of leagues, the number of leagues from 6, upping it to 19, creating subdivisions. So 3 subdivisions each. We also getting some updated rewards. This is probably the most exciting things. T2, the blue level 4 ions will be in there. This is super exciting. The Tangled web team joins the Unlimited X-Men and the Wakandans as Crucible. So power up these teams to thrive in season 1. That sounds super exciting for me. And the improvements. There's some, the matchups, we'll see what happens there. This is actually a good thing though. Commonly requested feature on the select squad team, your powered characters, they'll no longer autofill, saving you the time of having to clear slots. How about not accidentally going with the wrong team and losing a battle because of that? And who cares about saving time? How about saving some matches? As far as, and we'll get into the news rooms and everything, but as far as some of these changes coming to Cosmic Crucible, I know the rewards are probably number 1, but what is the most exciting thing for you? More leagues? More reward? Yeah, you could include the rewards if that is the most exciting. Powering up these teams, or some of these improvements that they mentioned?
I like the Age of X, the global rule that's going to be implemented. I'm very excited about that.
Oh, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. We're getting to that.
Improvement. we don't have any global rules right now, so that is kind of a whole new spin on Cosmic Crucible.
They still have this global room, the defending characters 20% health and stuff. Not all this additional stuff for to make the Unlimited X-Men even better than they are, but yeah. For me, I think it's going to be these updated rewards and not accidentally losing battles because of the lag and having the team going.
I've had it happen, and it's not fun. It just feels bad because you make one mistake in Cosmic Crucible, you probably lost a round.
Hey, you know what I would like? A practice mode. Why can't we have a practice mode? Or is this supposed to be frustrating and the only way to practice is in actual Crucible matches? Is that their design?
Seems like it.
FOMO. All right. This is the part I think you're most excited for. The new stage rules, the global rule. Hero mutants getting more damage. My goodness. Do they need even more damage? They have damage reduction, more focus, more resistance. Did you start to build up your Unlimited X-Men to crazy levels after you saw this on Friday?
No. It's not even, I'm not even excited about Unlimited X-Men. I'm excited about Uncanny X-Men. I'm excited about Astonishing X-Men.
Oh, I forgot about them.
Hero mutants, man.
All mutants.
Hero mutants. Yeah.
Marvel Mutant Force.
Oh my God, it's so fun. And it destroys Dormammu. Dormammu officially dies in Cosmic Crucible when this comes in.
You could bring in multiple man, and that's an awesome counter for Dormammu in Cosmic Crucible. Any hero, Psylocke. Psylocke has value now.
All they have to do is take one turn. They need to take one turn. So fast mutants are better. Cable is insanely good.
I forgot about him. Yeah. I might have to take him off of my Unlimited X-Men counter with my Unlimited X-Men minus Phantom X and put him somewhere else.
There's two ways to go. Either you can pull all of your hero mutants for offense, or you can be that guy and put all your hero mutants on defense.
Wait, how are you going to counter Dormammu if that happens? I mean, I guess Red Hulk will do that same thing, but jeez.
I don't know what is wrong with that guy that he would do that, but there's going to be that guy.
There will. I'll probably face that guy in war and lose to that person.
That guy. Don't be
I'm
that
not War
guy.
in Crucible.
Oh my God, that guy.
New rubs. We got 4 new bonuses. Nothing happened in stage 1 and 2, but Spider-Mania, Spider-Verse characters getting safeguarded in 2 turns. This is obviously designed for that new Tangled web team. Any other characters that you would see fitting in here, or is this for the Web Warriors? What do you think this is more for?
Yeah, I mean, I think right now we don't have Tangled Webs, so Web Warriors will get thrown in there. People like to throw Web Warriors around anyways. That safeguard is really nice because it prevents the hero mutants from messing with them.
Now, with that said, though, does this prevent that Bionic Avengers counter that could punch up so hard on the Web Warriors with safeguard?
Yeah, it just might.
Maybe. All right, we'll see.
It'll make it tricky.
Latent power. Global heroes, my goodness. Global heroes at the end of an turn gaining offense up. There's a lot of choices, a lot of global heroes in the game.
That's the Gamma, though. Put your Gamma. Either use your Gamma there or put your Gamma there.
Okay. Bio. Oh, we got another thing with Bio, though.
Yeah.
Apply offense down to a random enemy without offense down. Bio does that. And I guess this works offense and defense. Who are you leaning towards on defense after seeing this? Is this the place for the Bionic, not the Bionic Avengers, for those Web Warriors?
I was thinking 5 would be a good place for Gamma as well, but I think I started leaning towards 3 for that.
Okay.
And I think for room 5, that was room 4.
For the global heroes, which is most of the Gamma team.
I remember. All right, I know what room 4 is. This is the Wakanda room. Wakanda's nasty here.
Yeah.
Wakanda is evil in room 4.
This is gonna make this Crucible so much harder. These defenses are gonna be so much harder to get through, which means we're gonna get less Crucible credits. Thank you, Scopely. These defenses are gonna be crazy.
If you go full offense, I mean, it just means you can't ignore it. Like, you got to build Wakanda. Yeah. I think if you're going into this without Wakanda and you're facing a Wakanda in stage 4, you're going to be doomed.
All right. Do you think with this offense up, Young Avengers will still be able to counter that Wakandan team? Because Young Avengers counters Wakanda so good right now.
I don't know, maybe, but maybe not. I mean, that's going to help them out a lot. Because the main thing that Wakanda kind of misses is having offense up when they need it, and this should make sure that they have it.
All right, we'll see. I think that's a good place to start, though, with those defensive teams and then adjusting after some actual gameplay. All right, legendary characters. Is this where you're placing down? Legendary, the Scourge characters do count, right? Rogue, yes. Morgan Le Fay does count as legendary. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Are you gonna place Omega Red here? Are you gonna use him here? No. They spawn with 3 turns defense up and safeguard, remove all negative effects himself on turn and speed up. My goodness.
It's not even Omega Red you need to worry about because remember we have the global room?
Yes.
Okay, we have the global rule plus this, Jubilee, Phoenix, Morgan Le Fay, Rogue. Deal with that. It's insane.
I don't want to, Mr. Hartgrave. You're making me cry on the inside right now, reminding me about all these characters.
Be ready for that guy, because that guy exists, and he's going to drop Red Hulk in that room as soon as he can, too.
Oh my goodness.
And
all of the characters in one room.
Yeah.
You'll be able to beat all the other rooms very easily, but one room is just going to be super hard and not be able to get through it. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, if you double up, like just Rogue on her own in that room is like just evil. And then the more you add to Rogue on there, just the worse that's going to get.
Yeah. This does not sound good.
We're going to get a Rogue buff too. Remember, in this upcoming patch,
the saga,
the Rogue saga. So Rogue is going to get some kind of upgrade.
Yeah. So if it's like the Morgan Le Fay upgrade, not too crazy. It's just going to give her synergy with the other, the other Horseman characters there. I guess, and I think
synergy with the other legendary characters that get boosted in this room to create some ungodly.
I don't think you would separate the Unlimited X-Men and Darkhold though, but if you did, my goodness, jeez.
It's nuts.
Oh, and Red Hulk too.
Yeah.
Put them all on one team in this room. All right, but you did mention that there is the Rogue event coming back. I think that is very, very good. Are you getting a 7-star on Rogue when this comes back? Because it should have the second run before the famine, so we should get the second run of Rogue before the saga comes in the next update.
Yeah, already done. I actually got 7 stars on her the first time around.
Oh, you crazy person.
Yeah, I got top 500. Because I built my Young Avengers up to like tier 16, which was before they announced sagas. Yeah. So it's probably going to, it might be a problem later on down the road for me. But, I guess I get to do the, what happens is once you get 7 stars, when it comes back, you get a special leaderboard.
Yeah, I had that for the Morgan Le Fay one.
And then you have to score 1,000,000.5 points to get all your rewards from.
That was for Morgan Le Fay. Do you expect with the ease of difficulty going through and scoring higher points for the Rogue event, do you think they're going to change that or they're going to keep that at 1.5 for players that already have a 7-star Rogue? Because I remember people were doing difficulty 9 and 10 in the Rogue event, whereas people were really pushing difficulty 8 for the Morgan Le Fay event. So those points should be easier to get for Rogue, correct?
Yeah, I hope it's just at 1.5 because really, when we talk about low quality screen time, the more times I run the same Scourge, the more low quality screen time that's going to be. Like this time around for Morgan Le Fay, kind of boring. I mean, I ended up making 3 videos about it, so I guess it did something for me. But
I think that sounds like an awesome thing for you, Mr. Hartgrave.
Yeah,
maybe not for the rest of your community or people that aren't making content about it, but for you, my friend, awesome. Tower mode coming back. How excited for that are you? I know that was something that you've been wanting, and I guess this will be the 3rd iteration of Tower Mode, and it only took them until September to get the 3rd one out.
No, it's great. I'm glad it's coming back. I actually had a suggestion for Tower Mode. I think that it's great. Okay, bring it back this way. It's going to have the rewards associated with it, the leaderboards, all that junk.
Yeah.
After this, though, what I would like to see is Tower be an ongoing game mode like Dark Dimension, where we can go replay it anytime we want to. Because there was a lot of people like, this is probably going to be like a whole new Tower. What about the thousands of players?
Wait, you think they're going to actually put some design into this and change anything? I mean, if history dictates that, they're just going to be exactly the same. And if there's any bugs in the past one, it's still going to be there.
So negative. I think they're going to want to.
I am very negative today. You're supposed to be the voice of positivity, Mr. Hartgrave. We're switching roles here.
I think that they are going to put some new teams on there because new teams, but I don't know. It would be a great opportunity for them to like throw, the new Gamma team on there, some Horseman teams to really mess with you. And I just don't know if they're going to change. Like last time they did that, they just added floors. Yeah. So I don't know if it's going to be like 200 floors this time or what they're going to do as far as that goes. But I'd like to see the old tower replayable. And
I would like that as well.
And like I've said, I don't even need rewards. I want people to be able to experience, because I think the tower's fun. And I think getting to floor 100 and beating floor 100 could be rewarding. Just feeling.
I know for some players, but I know majority of the community will not play anything unless there's rewards involved. So
fine. And they don't have to play it. And I was suggesting maybe even put like a small cosmetic reward at the top. Put that Weapon X.
Oh, like an avatar border. Or a border for an avatar or something. Yeah. Like Dark Dimension rewards.
Something stupid. I beat the tower. All I got was this stupid avatar border. Whatever.
Yeah. All right. Now, one of the things I mentioned here is updated Alliance War rewards. And updated seems like a weird way to put it, because we got some new war rewards, and a lot of people are missing a lot of T4s from these war rewards. This was from over a week ago. Nothing has been done since then. I guess they're not doing anything at all before this war season is over, because it looks like it's happening next update. Fourth, this, and I believe a lot of these already were corrected except for this one. The war rewards have fewer T4 materials for certain end users of the season rewards. They will be updated soon to include more T4s in those tiers, comparable to what was previously there. Why are they taking so long to fix this? I mean, this seems like a simple solution. Put more rewards, just change some numbers in the data and push that out live. Why are they waiting till the next update for this, Mr. Hartgrave?
All right, so I do have some insight into this, and it's like Jenga blocks, okay? You have all these different departments, and they all want to give you tier 4s. Like, I guess let's look at this in a positive way, because I think it's easy to look at this like they're evil and they don't want us to have tier 4s. I think
they're lazy. I don't think it was done on purpose, but them not doing anything is the bad part.
All right, and I think the reason why they're not doing things is because they can't agree. You got one guy who wants to give you all the tier 4s in tower. You got one guy that wants to give you all the tier 4s in pocket dimension. You got one guy that wants to give you all the tier 4s in war. You got one guy that wants to hand you tier 4s in raids, right?
Yeah.
And you got a guy at the top who's like, you're only giving out, 500 tier 4s this month. You guys work it out on who gets to divvy them up. And I think that's the problem, is they're all trying to give you tier 4s, but they have a hard limit on how many they can actually give you. So they all have to work out between each other how many you're going to get. I think at the end of the day, the players get the same amount of stuff, no matter how they divvy it up between the different game modes.
Yeah, but this is something that should be increased overall in the game, and not taking away from this game mode to increase this game mode. Why don't you just increase this game mode, increase this game mode? T4s are something that's been in the game for a long time. We're getting all these new characters that need these T4s. Just increase it everywhere across the board. The other area that they've reduced some of our rewards is with this, and these raid season milestones. They revert, after they took out Spider-Gwen out of these, they reverted to these milestones that we've had a couple years ago. And I guess that's just silly copying, pasting, and whatever the heck they do to constantly screw things up. Do you think that in this new update, we will get this updated to what we should be getting, which includes some teal gear and stuff like that? And how much of an increase to these war rewards T4s do you think we'll get in this next update?
Yeah, I don't get this. I thought this was a pretty good release method, actually. Ghost Spider being in here as, farmable that way did not upset me. I mean, I guess I'm in one of the top rating alliances, so you've maxed it out too.
No, but even if you don't max this stuff out, it was very easy to get all those Spider-Gwen shards because they all appeared very, very early in these milestones. So even lower level alliances were able to get a lot of Spider-Gwen shards and sort of
gave you a reason to raid. I mean, we're kind of, honestly, I think we're running out of reason to raid. The main bottleneck in the game right now is Isotope level 4, and none of that comes from raids. So you got to throw some character shards in here to incentivize this, I would think.
Got it. All right, so hopefully this will be fixed. I'm assuming this was an error because this is what we got before all those changes were made, and I don't even know if they realize it. All of us have been talking about this since this went live. I don't even know if they know that this was an error, because there is a known issues page here that has a lot of these issues, Mr. Hartgrave, that are talking about. The gamma obsessed orbs, the missing ray. Oh, they actually do. But they mentioned something different with these raid milestones here. It's unintentional removing other items such as Ghost Spider shards in the raid these seasons after season reset. Team is looking into this. So those spider shards, they said they would do that. It's what it was missing is all the teal gear and all the extra gold, everything that we got. That is what's missing. Known issues. They know about Kestrel. They know about Adam Warlock. They know about Psylocke. Do you think that these will be fixed in the next update as well, Mr. Hartgrave?
Sure, maybe.
Cool.
No. Probably not.
All right, and then the September calendar, this was something that people were wondering about. They started this a day late, and I guess the good thing here is that additionally September calendar, special calendar activated, includes missing items from the September calendar. The calendar will be extended and overlap next month's calendar in order for players to claim rewards. Now, they did this in the past when they've run they missed one of these calendars and had to redo this. This was not made clear publicly that this would run an extra day.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they posted it on their help site, but you really have to look for this, like search for this to find this information out.
Subscribe to ValleyFlyin.
Subscribe to me, because it's too hard for the CMs to put this info out and give this a community. I mean, to type a tweet, I think they must have to go through like 80 different departments for that to get approved. So maybe in a couple weeks we'll get this notice, and then, well, we don't have to worry about this calendar. All right, but the other thing coming in the next update is Red Hulk, and I want to ask you, how are you preparing for Red Hulk right now?
Yes. Yeah, so I've started to think about this. I wasn't going to do anything at all, and I think that's still a valid tactic, is to skip node 5 and just focus on nodes 1 through 4 and just get like 500,000 points.
And what kind of shards will you expect for that, or ranking will you expect for Red Hulk? Obviously not like that 7 red star rogue that you got.
No, I don't know what ranking you would get for that, but you would get all of the free shards on the milestone if it's like the other ones.
Okay. So you get all the milestone stuff, but maybe not placing very well for the ranking stuff.
No, and then you'd be missing some milestones because the milestones max out at 1 million. Now, because they announced the Tangled Web team and not the Death team, I feel that gives me some gear to work with. So I am going to build like a minimum viable team for node 5 and go for 1 million points on this upcoming Scourge. I think on the last Scourge to get 7 stars on Rogue, I did like over 2 million points.
Ooh.
It was an easier Scourge, so that was possible.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do that for this one. I'm not going to go crazy for Red Hulk and like build Heroic Avengers to tier 16, level 90. But I'm just building like a minimum viable kind of team.
All right, there's a few overlapping characters with this. One of them is Hulk, one of them is Iron Man, and the other is Thor. Are you going to build these 3 characters specifically for that? I think Hulk is a good investment because you're going to need to build them up anyway for Apocalypse. I don't think you're wasting anything there. I think he will help you with Scourge. But for newer players that maybe want to build some of these, who do you think is going to be the big team? My theory is the Hero Asgardians. Am I wrong? Is it going to be a hybrid with the Wave 1 Avengers and maybe T'Challa and Yondu or someone, or what do you think is going to be the ideal team to get through this?
Top guys are definitely going to want to use Hero Asgardians. That's my thought, is that the top guys are going to, tier 16 Hero Asgardians and max them out level 90, all the tier 4s. That's where the top scores are going to come in. They're a really good team. They work well together. I think the argument is maybe Ravagers.
That's a weird one.
It would have some viability. They're a very good team, but I couldn't suggest anyone gamble on that. I think Hero Asgardians is a safe bet.
I think a lot of people, or some people, might have already had them built, and I think that's a good thing. I don't think I would invest in the Ravagers at this point now, because while they may have some value, I'm talking Yondu, T'Challa, maybe Stitcher in the Scourge event. After that, what are you using them for?
I can farm T'Challa now, and I honestly don't even know why I'm going to put 7 stars on him. I guess just to be a completionist. There's no point. There's no reason for it. The team I'm going with is Hulk because we have to fully invest in Hulk.
Yes.
I'm going to do Iron Man because at some point I'm not building Bionic Avengers. I got a video on why I'm not doing that right now. But
hold on. Can you give me a quick explanation why? Or just let me have the link to the video, and you can explain to me after we're done.
The video is going to come out Saturday.
Okay. But it's a surprise. He's not building it.
I'm on the right side of the Doom 3. So, and that's the short answer. I don't do tech nodes daily. I just don't do them. I got no other use for this.
That makes sense. Half your alliance will want to build Bionic Avengers, other half maybe not, unless you're doing like 100% every day or something like that.
Yeah, which I don't see us doing for a very long time because we're running the 3.4 and it's just not even feasible.
Yeah, 3.4 is hard, man.
Yeah,
all right.
It's pretty rough.
So I'm trying to build as many of these as possible. I'm not investing any to the Ravagers, not too much in the Wave 1 Avengers, but I'm going Hero Asgardians and Hulk and Iron Man and maybe Black Widow.
Interesting.
I'm at least putting the Iso-8 on her. I don't know if I'm putting too much levels on her, but she's who I'm farming the Iso-8 green campaigns right now. All right.
I'm doing Hulk, Iron Man, Thor, and then I've actually decided to do Sif and Valkyrie. And the main reason why is their skill gear. And I think most people have a surplus of skill gear because there's not that many good skill characters kicking around right now. So it's probably safe to go ahead and throw, at least up to tier 14, tier 15.
So you are building them, Mr. Hartgrave. You're just not building a team. You're building hybrid teams.
Hybrid team, yeah.
Hybrid team. Okay. All right. So yeah, the hybrid team may be the best option, but I got that FOMO. I'm building as much as I can.
My goal is just to beat Node 5. Node 10 is off the table still. And to get my million points.
If you get 9 nodes, that could get you a pretty decent score if you put a lot of Scourge into it at high difficulty. And maybe it'd get you a nice ranking score at the end of the day as well. So if you could get that 5th node.
I assume I'll end up with 5 stars on Red Hulk. I think that's probably where I'll end up.
That should be enough. Yeah, I'm going to shoot for that 6. Unless it's like crazy RNG and I have to reset it a few times. I'm not going to put a crazy amount of time in this like I did with that first Morgan Le Fay Scourge event.
Well, the good news is these are going to keep coming back until you get 7 stars, no matter who you are or what you have built.
Yeah, true.
Doesn't matter. Even if you only do the first 4 nodes every time and you never build a team for node 5, eventually you will get 7 stars on every single Horseman character, which is why I love this release method.
That is way more farmability than we have for the Eternals or some of the Dark Hunters that's not released yet, and definitely more than the rest of the Young Avengers. So yeah, the legendaries are more farmable than some of the non-legendary characters, which is the weird part of this game right now.
Yeah, go figure. Right. Yeah, they don't want me to have who's ridiculous right now. I know there's some
Icarus and Cersei are the 2 longest characters that we don't have farmable.
Those are good characters though. There's like some crappy characters that are unfarmable.
Oh, let's look at this list here. We got a bunch on this list. Phantom X is not farmable.
That's a good one.
Sunfire Dazzler, okay, they're not farmable.
There's some
there's what do we have? Heartless is not farmable. He's probably the worst non-farmable on the Darkhold, even though he's still pretty good. Better than Scarlet Witch.
Oh, we got A-Force still isn't farmable.
A-Force, Nico is not. Spider-Woman is not. You're covering Spider-Woman's face with your face. That's why you can't see her on the screen.
But yeah, like Spider-Woman and Nico, why not just loosen up with them? Like, what is the point of that?
Greed, Mr. Hartgrave. All right, but let's talk about that's enough for Marvel Strike Force. The game can be made positive again. The game goes through ups and downs. I feel this game, since that Hulkbuster event, at least for me, has been in and down. Let me know your thoughts on this as we discuss She-Hulk. Episode 3. Now, that is not the episode that dropped today, so if you have not watched today's episode, which is episode 4, don't worry. But if you have not seen up to episode 3 of She-Hulk, spoiler warning right now. Look at the timestamps. Go fast. Go to the next timestamp, our final thoughts and everything like that. But let's talk about, all right, the spoilers are out there. Mr. Hartgrave, how did you enjoy episode 3 of She-Hulk, the Abomination Trial?
Yeah, still really loving it. Really love Tim Roth. Big Tim Roth fan, so really cool to see him get a lot of screen time. I like that Wong was featured heavily in the episode as well. He's a great actor, so just awesome show.
Well, I mean, it's an MCU project, so Wong has to be in it. Wong is like in every single MCU project in Phase 4, so it's a Phase 4 project. Wong is gonna be in it. Now, do you think we're gonna see him again or Abomination again? They had that, breaking the fourth wall where she talked to the camera and said, we may not do it. I don't think we're going to see Bruce again based on what she said. We may not see Wong or Abomination again. Do you think that episode was the final time that we saw both of those characters?
Yeah, that might be it. I mean, we still have other cameos to get to. We have Daredevil, which I'm waiting for. Hopefully, maybe we'll get that this episode. I don't know. It doesn't need to happen soon, but it needs to happen.
What's happening with Titania? We saw her in episode 1, But then we see this thing, or I saw this thing on Twitter where she's spray painting the billboards of She-Hulk in her costume in real life and saying Titania rules and all that. Are we going to see her? Is she going to be the main villain in this series? Because it seems like they wrapped up like a major chapter after episode 3. I mean, they could have ended the series there. Like, oh, cool. So it seems like we're going into something else in episode 4. So is Titania the main villain? And you did mention Daredevil. How are we going to see him? How do you think his cameo is going to come up?
Yeah, I don't know. What's interesting about all of this is I was saying like the reason I didn't like Miss Marvel was lack of a villain, and I guess I can't say that anymore because there's no villain on this show, and I'm still loving it.
There's not a real villain. There's not a lot of action, and I still love this show.
Yeah, it's just.
I guess all the Easter eggs and all the Hulk stuff and the cameos, it's making it enjoyable for me, but very little action. I don't know who the villain is.
How low my bar is. I'm like, just bring in a bunch of actors from the Marvel movies and have them goof off for 30 minutes. And I'm happy. I don't care.
All right. Now, I mentioned Titania, but we did see the Wrecking Crew at the end of episode 3. That syringe broke on her skin, saying, oh, we can't get through the hardened skin. Do you think they're going to try to attack her when she is Jennifer Walters and get that blood from her and make more Hulks out there?
I hope so, because Wrecking Crew is hilarious.
They got beat pretty easily, though. They're a little more formidable in the comics.
You losers.
All right. That is about it now. I am enjoying this show. I can't wait till tonight to watch this with my kids. Kids are enjoying this a lot more than they enjoyed Miss Marvel, by the way. So it's a good show. I'm enjoying it. I know not everybody is, but I am. Let me know your comments or let me know your thoughts in the comments. And Mr. Hartgrave, any final thoughts, my brother?
Yeah, I guess I can plug things so you can come check me out over on YouTube, come check me out over on Twitch. This weekend, I'm actually going to be, well, not me, but Zemo is going to be handing out some prizes. Look at that. And Mr. Hartgrave. That's right. This is done by a comic book artist. I got a bunch of these too.
You are famous. You're in the Marvel universe.
I'm legit. But yeah, I got a stack of these I'm going to send with Zemo. He's going to go to Zapp Con here in New Jersey this Saturday morning. So if you want to meet Zemo live,
meet and greet.
To do that.
Will Zemo be in his full costume or will Mr. Hartgrave be there?
I have nothing to do with this. I would never go to something like this.
I gotcha. All right, so if you want to meet Zemo, perhaps get some Turkish delights. Go to the convention. I can't remember it off the top of my head. I'm gonna put the link. I'm gonna put the link down below if you send it to me. So check it out there. That is about it, though. I'm looking forward to that video of the Bionic Avengers. Why it's not important to build them. As I just put that Gear 16 on a couple of them this morning.
Here's the other good thing about Zapp Con. So even if you don't go, we're gonna be filming. So there will be footage of Zemo out in the world. So come check out the YouTube channel.
I hope he has Turkish delights. I hope he does. That would be awesome if he does. I might fly out there just to get some Turkish delights firsthand from Zemo. That would be awesome, my brother. All right.
Anything's possible.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. So thank you guys for watching. If this is your first time here, like I said, hit that subscribe button because we do this every week. Every week, another Marvel Strike Force news update. Usually they're not this salty, but the game is in a salty place right now. So hopefully it's positive from here on out. I like making the positive videos better. I like the hype.
Nothing will improve.
Nothing will improve. Wait, I'm supposed to be you're supposed to be positive, Mr. Hartgrave. The roles are reversed today.
But you learn how to deal with it, and
I guess that's another way to look at it. Nothing will improve, but we can still have fun. Thank you guys for watching. If you're listening to this the podcast version, give it a 5-star review, whatever platform you're listening to. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know as soon as a new video goes up. Check out Mr. Hartgrave, and I will see you guys next time. Make sure you check out the Valley merch store for some cool ValleyFlyin gear and everything like that. And are you ready for the fist bump, Mr. Hartgrave? All right, well, I hope you have a great rest of your week. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope that convention is very, very successful for Zemo, even though you won't be there. I hope Zemo is very successful there. And I hope you guys are doing awesome. Stay hydrated, stay positive, and I'll see you guys at the top. Hulk fist bump, are you ready for it? There it is. ValleyFlyin and Mr. Hartgrave out. Have a great one, guys.